if the United Nations wasn't biased enough during the Israel-Hamas war, they've got a great idea. They've just appointed this lady from the Netherlands to handle the reconstruction of Gaza, as if they've decided they're going to do it. And they picked an anti-Israel, anti-Semite to run it. Way to go, UN. Claire Lopez, how about this for a Christmas present? The United Nations picks the outgoing finance minister of the Netherlands, a lady named Sigrid Kaag, to be in charge of, I guess, the reconstruction of Gaza, according to the Netherlands. Ironically, the person they pick happens to hate Israel and is a big supporter of Hamas. And get this is amazing, but not in a good way. Kaag had previously served as the European country's minister for foreign affairs and development cooperation, and she told her own parliament in the Netherlands in 2020 that she'd been paying the salaries of two terrorists that had killed an Israeli teenager. And she goes, "Oh, sorry about that." Meanwhile, she spent $12.9 million of their money between 2017 and 2020, and she is an unabashed supporter of Hamas. Where does the Netherlands get off deciding who gets to rebuild Gaza and under what political structure is appropriate?
Well, I think we've all been hoping and expecting that the reconstruction of Gaza post Hamas, after Hamas is obliterated, would be shared among an international group. But I think most of us were probably looking to neighboring countries in the Middle East, maybe like Saudi Arabia, other Gulf states, perhaps Egypt, Jordan, the surrounding countries. But, if they want to pitch in, pitch in. But this has to be post Hamas.
On that same subject, you're an expert in the Middle East. You've been there a zillion times for a lot of years. How is it possible that in 1948, with the creation of the State of Israel, every single Arab country kicked out all the Jews? And there were lots of them in Middle Eastern countries, in Yemen, in Lebanon, in Syria, in Egypt, in Tunisia, in Morocco. These are the so-called Sephardic Jews, Middle Eastern, dark-skinned descent. They've been there for thousands of years. And yet, not one single country, Claire, not one, will take the Palestinian refugees from Gaza. In fact, they say it's according to the king of Jordan, who never got elected, but he's the dictator for life in Jordan. It's a red line. Now, one refugee will come to Egypt and not one refugee will come to Jordan. And they have unlimited land. Why is that?
Well, let's think about it. These people have been hosted in a number of Middle East countries. We could talk about Jordan, and we can remember 1970 when the current King Abdullah's father, King Hussein, was faced with an absolute rebellion from these people and had to deploy the Bedouin guards, who then evicted them. They went where? They went to Lebanon. What did they do in Lebanon? They destabilized Lebanon. They got kicked out of Lebanon. Where did they go? They went elsewhere. They were in Kuwait, for example, back in 1990, at the time of the first Gulf War. When Saddam Hussein was trying to did take over for a time, Kuwait, and who sided with Saddam Hussein and the Iraqi invaders? It was these people. Everybody in the area, I didn't mention Syria, has had their experience with them, and it's not been good. I can understand perfectly well why they don't want to welcome them again.
And Libya and Morocco, nobody wants them.
On and on.
Everywhere they've gone, they create terror and revolution. They don't assimilate. They independently operate as, I guess, a terror state within a regular state. And you're right. I think, as I think about it and I listen to you, It makes total sense. They've all had experiences with these people. Remember, it was Yasser Arafat that was getting kicked out of country after country, and everywhere he went, he created a fiefdom of terror. They remember. It's not that they're anti-Arab, they're anti-Palestinian terrorism.
They've got enough troubles of their own, jihadi troubles of their own, and they don't want any more.